The camera holds on Evelyn's hands. A small brown diary rests inside a shoebox cinched with a belt. She sets it on the table. Brad laughs without looking up. Your stories again. Evelyn lifts the belt. The diary opens. First page. 1967. She slides out a photo. A teenage girl on courthouse steps. The sign reads, "Let us live." She lays down a receipt beside it. A parcel number. A price, $5. Brad stops talking. Another photo hits the wood. A banker shakes a deputy's hand on those same steps. Evelyn meets his eyes. You mocked me. Now read this. Cut to the county counter. A printer spits 4 pages in a rush. The clerk scans the top line. Owner of record. Whitman Legacy Trust. Monique turns to Brad. Your family owns Mama's house. The room falls still. Quick flashes. A signature that does not match. A notary line stamped H. Whitman. A tape reel starts to spin. Evelyn looks into the lens. Stay. In 1 minute, a voice from 1967 will name who took our home. Steam lifts from Sunday stew. Family noise fades. Evelyn Carter moves from stove to table. 72. Silver hair neat. Hand sure. Brad, her son-in-law, scrolls a phone. Another legend, he says. Marches. Sheriffs. Secret deals. Sound like a movie. Monique stiffens. Brad. Evelyn sets the bowls. Voice even. It was not a movie. It was a street. He smirks. So you save the whole town. Silence lands. The clock ticks. 10 slow beats. Evelyn fixes her eyes on him. Help me with the attic, she says. Bring down the past. He shrugs. After dessert. Now. They climb the narrow stairs. Heat. Dust. A dented trunk waits. She thumbs the latch. A soft sigh. Inside, a shoebox wrapped with a belt. On the lid in black ink. 1967. Keep. She slips the belt. A small brown diary and photos sit inside. She opens to the first page. June 3rd, 1967. Freedom School in the church basement. Pencils. Biscuits. A flicker fixed in the light. A photo slides free. A teen girl on courthouse steps holds a sign. Let us live. Another page. Her hand stops. July 18th, 1967. Mr. Whitman gave the deputy a list. Our name's on it. He said we needed a lesson. Brad gives a tight laugh. Whitman is a common name. She lays out a second photo. A young banker shakes a deputy's hand on those same steps. The lapel tag reads H. Whitman and Sons. Brad swallows. He studies the face. He says nothing. Evelyn lifts a wrinkled receipt from the back sleeve. A parcel number. An address. Sale price. $5. It is her address. She closes a diary and holds it to her chest. Breath steady. Downstairs, she says. We need witnesses. At the table, she lines up the diary. The photo, the receipt. No spin. Only facts. Monique covers her mouth. Mama. Brad reads the parcel number out loud. His voice thins. Mrs. Ruiz's boy worked at records. Evelyn says, tomorrow he checks this. Brad tries for control. Old paper. What does it change? It changes who laughs. She carries the diary to her room. She sits on the bed and traces the ink with one finger. No tears. Only heat and focus. The parcel number matches a home. The owner name shocks the table. Stay for part 2. Subscribe for more emotional stories. Comment where the turn hit you. Morning glare. Blue dress. Walking shoes. Evelyn leads. Monique drives. Brad rides quiet in the back. County record smells like old air and ink. David Ruiz greets them. Kind eyes. Fast hands. The parcel, he says. Evelyn slides a note. He types. Frowns. Prints a chain. Sold in 1967 for $5 to Whitman Redevelopment Fund, he reads. Then a shell company. Then an investor group led by Harlan Whitman. Final transfer into Whitman Legacy Trust. Monique turns to Brad. Your family trust owns Mama's house. Brad stares at the page. I did not know. Who signed in 1967? Evelyn asks. David points. Grantor. Ruthie Mae Carter. Your mother? Evelyn shakes her head. My mother never signed. She kept the deed in a Bible. We lost both when they pushed us out. Small print under the line. Witness. Deputy J. S. Crowell. Notary. H. Whitman. Pull the original. Evelyn says. David nods. 2 hours. They wait at a diner. A young waitress brings coffee with a soft smile. Evelyn tips early. For the first smile, she says, the room needs that second smile more than sugar. Brad breaks. I do not control the trust. My father runs it. He is hard. Hard is not the word. Evelyn says. Monique stares at the salt. We knew about lines. We did not know about this house. Brad presses his palms flat. Even if my father did this, I did not. Monique answers quiet. You laughed. David calls. Ready. Back at the counter. He opens a thick folder with gloves on. A yellow deed. The signature slants wrong. The loops do not match Ruthie Mae's bank card. David gives the safe words. I cannot say fraud. The hand does not match. What next? Evelyn asks. File a claim. Ask for land court. Attach copies. Bring witnesses. Press helps if you want speed. Brad, Evelyn says, call your father. He will not take it. Then we knock. Whitman Legacy sits behind glass and chrome. A receptionist smiles without warmth. Do you have an appointment? Yes, Evelyn says, with the truth. James Bradfield steps out. Navy suit. Cold eyes. Son, he says to Brad. What drama? Not drama, Evelyn says. Ledger. She lays down the diary pages, the deed, the photo. You lied with a pen. You took a home while a deputy smiled for a camera. He shrugs. The city needed progress. You needed profit. He looks at Brad. You brought them here. You let our name be dragged by some old woman with a scrapbook. Evelyn does not blink. This is a diary. He waves a hand. A lawyer will respond. She slides one more photo. A little girl on a curb hugs a Bible. Furniture stacked behind her. A lawyer cannot fix what you did to her. They turn to leave. James calls out, You will lose. Evelyn answers without looking back. We already did once. An archive opens. A tape speaks. A name on that tape cuts the room. Part 3 holds it. Share this with someone who needs courage. Subscribe for the hearing. City Archive. Metal shelves. Reels in gray boxes. Alma, the archivist, threads a machine and presses play. Static. Then a clerk. July 10th, 1967. The voice says, Harlan Whitman. Present. Deputy Crowell. Present. James Bradfield. Clerk. A councilman asks about families. Whitman replies smooth. Relocation to safe quarters. Progress. Alma sharpens the sound. Paper shuffles. A woman's voice rises from the back. Young. Firm. What you call relocation is eviction, she says. What you call progress is theft. Evelyn freezes. It is her voice at 19. We wrote badge numbers. The young voice says, We kept receipts. Gavel. Order. Whitman again. These children want chaos. Another voice. Quiet. Clear. Let them speak. The clerk names him. Thomas Reeves. Evelyn closes her eyes. Thomas. The boy who fixed a flicker and walked her home. He left that winter. No letter ever came. They pull a second file. Addresses for relocation. An old laundry. No heat. Bunks. Little air. File suit. Evelyn says. Church. Press. Court. The pastor gives them a basement room. The paper sends a photographer. Elders fill chairs. They bring names and grief. Mrs. Jenkins, 14 in 1967, stands. I saw my daddy cry once. That day, then never again. Evelyn reads an entry. We sang at the curb to keep from tearing our throats. Mr. Whitman smiled while the deputy wrote names. Brad speaks to the room. I mock what I did not know. I am sorry. He keeps it short. The room nods to the work. Hearing day. Chalk and marble. A judge who listens. Trust lawyers stiff. James Bradfield sits with a jaw of stone. He does not own this room. Evelyn swears in. My mother did not sign. The hand does not match. The handwriting expert steps through loops and angles. Different hand. Trust lawyer stands. No wrongdoing. Time passed. The trust served the city. The judge lifts one finger. If the signature is false, time does not hide it. We will reach equity. Alma plays the tape. 1967 fees 2025. The judge watches James when his name lands from the reel. He looks away. Evelyn adds photos. The Bible on the sidewalk. Deputy with a pen by the door. Whitman and a young James clasp hands. The judge rules for a freeze. No transfers on link parcels. A special master. A city review of old deeds. 30 days to next hearing. Gasps. A phone clatters. Evelyn breathes and keeps still. James mutters on his way out. Not over. It begins, she says. A buy-off letter arrives. Cash. Silence. The room will decide the reply. Please help us grow by subscribing to see the choice. Share with one friend. The letter lands with weight. A sum. A plaque. A release. Quiet. Evelyn sets it on a church table. She invites the block. Mrs. Jenkins reads it and shakes her head. They want to pay to end the sentence. A young man lifts a hand. Cash helps. My mother needs insulin. Evelyn nods. We will take cash. We will take more than cash. They write terms on a chalkboard. Short lines. Clear ends. Return the Carter title. A fund for families harmed in 1967. A public apology with names read. A memorial on the courthouse steps. The line carved in stone. You cannot take what our hands built and call it a gift. A nursing scholarship in Ruthie Mae Carter's name. A clinic room named for Lila. Staff training led by people from the block. No gag. The trust pushes back twice. Evelyn does not move. Brad stands with her. This is my part, he says to his father. The third letter says yes. Clear morning. The square fills. Old suits. Sunday hats. Kids who cannot keep still. The judge reads the order. Title returns to the Carters. The review expands to other parcels. The fund stands. The city will watch. A board chair speaks plain. He says what happened. He names theft. He names Ruthie Mae first. He does not ask for anything. James Bradfield steps up. His voice breaks. I did clerk work and told myself a story about order. I will pay into this fund each year. I will sit in training under this church. I am sorry. No cheers. Only breath. Evelyn takes the mic. We came for paper, she says. We leave with a promise. We will hold it. She calls names. Alma, who saved memory. Mrs. Ruiz, who brought sugar in a name. Mrs. Jenkins, who told a hard truth. The nursing student from the diner. First Ruthie Mae Carter scholar. The girl cries and laughs at once. Women at the front cry and laugh with her. Workers pull a claw from a stone at the steps. Deep letters cut clean. You cannot take what our hands built and call it a gift. Names follow. First line, Ruthie Mae Carter. Last line, for the child with the Bible and for the child who will never hold one on the curb again. Evelyn lays her palm on warm stone. The square hums. Life moves. Home. The lien clears online. The deed ships, but her heart does not wait for paper. She sits on the porch and watches the block wake. A nurse walks by with a badge that reads Ruthie M.A. They wave. Brad brings tea. He sits on the step below. I wanted to learn in private. I did not. Keep trying, she says. One day you teach. Monique leans in the doorway. New stories start at this table. Evening light. Evelyn writes the last page in the diary. Today the house came home. The town said our names. The men with pens stepped into sun and did not hide. We buried one kind of silence and lifted another. Peace lives here. She ties the belt. She does not climb to the attic. She sets the box on a shelf by the table. A child will reach it without stairs. If this move you, subscribe to Echoes of Black Struggles. Share with one person who needs proof that names and paper can bend power back toward people. Tell us where the turn landed for you.